1914.
Who really is the faithful and discreet slave?
Who was watching? Who was providing the food at the proper time? Russell and his associates quickly understood that Christ's presence would be invisible. They disassociated themselves from other groups and, in 1879, began publishing spiritual food in Zion's WatchTower and Herald of Christ's Presence. From its first year of publication, this magazine pointed forward, by sound scriptural reckoning, to the date of 1914 as an epoch-making date in Bible chronology. So when Christ's invisible presence began in 1914, happy were these Christians to have been found watching. So we have established in 1914 these Christians were found watching. But is this the truth? Were they in fact watching for Christ's presence? This should be relatively easy to find out by simply looking at the publications produced by the WatchTower at this time. What do the facts show? Let's take a look at the WatchTower from 1914. When was Jesus going to be present? And it reads, that time, as far as we are able to calculate, began in 1874. Since that date, we have been living in the parousia of the Son of Man. Okay, so Christ came in 1874. So maybe we weren't on the watch right then, but I'm sure we got on the watch just shortly thereafter, right? Let's check out 1916. This culminated in the year AD 1844, just 30 years before AD 1874, when Christ, the bridegroom and reaper, actually came, as shown by the Jubilee's teaching. Okay, so maybe not 1916 either, but considering that in 1918 they were appointed over all Jesus' belongings, surely they would have known then. And 10 years later, let's say 1928, let's see what they were teaching. Jesus stated that he would be present at that time. From 1874 forward is the latter part of the period of the time of the end. From 1874 is the time of the Lord's second presence, as above stated. Well, if we still hadn't figured it out by 1928, then when did we figure it out? Looking in the Proclaimer's book on page 133, we see here that it says a clear understanding of biblical chronology was published in 1943 in the book The Truth Shall Make You Free. Well, what does this mean? You know, if we could just get our hands on this publication, things would be much easier. Oh wait, here it is. Huh, looks like here on page 152, it looks like there was just a bit of a miscalculation. They just changed a few things. We better get out the WatchTower library to really figure this one out. Let's go to books. Okay. Next we're gonna go to God's Kingdom Has Approached. Let's try chapter 11. Here is the bridegroom. What do you think we're gonna find in here? Let's take a peek around. I mean, it's probably something we can, figure out of this. I mean, what's this? 1943. In the year 1943, the WatchTower Bible and Tract Society published the book The Truth Shall Make You Free. In its chapter 11, entitled The Count of Time, it did away with the insertion of 100 years into the period of the Judges and went according to the oldest and most authentic reading of Acts 13:20, and accepted the spelled-out numbers of the Hebrew Scriptures. This moved forward the end of 6,000 years of man's existence into the decade of the 1970s. Naturally, this did away with the year 1874 CE as the date of return of the Lord Jesus Christ and the beginning of his invisible presence, or parousia. Huh. 1943? This got to be wrong. That would mean Jesus would have been knocking for 29 years. And they didn't even open the door.